And nothing came up, man. Nothing came up at all. What's up, everybody? It's me, San Martin, and I am on the scene here at Prescott Executive Studios in Prescott, Arizona. And just like always, I got another guest that you guys all need to know about. If you all have a vehicle, this is one segment that you do not want to miss. Let's get this party started. And it goes like this. Dude, we need to put in a microphone like right next to the speaker. Guys, I'm just talking about other things besides what we're supposed to be talking about. But it's all good, man. This is what it's all about. So as you guys know, when I go out and talk to people, all we want to do is find out what is going on and what is happening in our local community. And we like to go ahead and talk to a lot of business owners, a lot of leaders, and a lot of people that are just moving, shaking, and doing things in our community. And without further ado, this is one of them. So tell everybody who you are and what makes you famous.
What's up, you guys? My name is Scott Restivo. I own Restivo's Wrenches Auto Repair here in Prescott. I'm bringing a new type of automotive repair to the community in some senses and the same old stuff in others. One of the ways that it is different is I believe that people deserve to have a mechanic that they know the name of, that they trust, that they can call, talk to, communicate, and feel loved realistically. So
and the best part about it is that, you know, Prescott needs that. And when you find yourself in a very vulnerable like time of your life, and when your car breaks down, this is one of those moments where you're just like, dude, I need somebody we could trust that won't try to win you over on some of other extra things that you probably don't need at that point in time. But don't get me wrong, it's your job to go ahead and make sure that everybody acknowledges the potential problems that are going to be coming up.
Sure.
So let's talk about what you actually offer at your place.
We offer general maintenance, things from oil changes to things as extensive as if you blow your motor up, we can put a new one in there.
Don't do that. We promise you, don't do that.
And if I do my job right and you work with me to do your job right, hopefully we can prevent that from happening. So
I'm like, are you supposed to put oil in this?
I grab the olive oil off the shelf. That'll work.
You know, some things work and some things don't work, but that's definitely not one of them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. It seems like a good little thing to put in your car.
Right. Sam, one of the things I want to talk about is something that sets us apart, because you can go anywhere and have, you know, mechanics fix your car. There's plenty of great mechanics out there. What sets Restivo's Wrenches apart to a certain degree is that we're going to meet you where you're at. So we can sell you the top of the line lifetime warranty parts where you're not going to worry about parts or labor if that thing goes out, may it be a steering rack or an alternator or whatever. But as we all know, the top of the line stuff costs good money. And there's a range of options, and I like to be able to be one of the shops that can say, hey, you know what, if this price doesn't work for you, let's look at other options. Let's find cheaper parts. Let's say you're only holding on to this car for another month. You don't need a lifetime warranty on that steering rack. So let's go find something cheaper. And I'm not going to give you a hard time because I'm not making as much money off of a less expensive part. So.
Which is pretty awesome, because if you give them alternatives and a way to think that this is something that is affordable or obtainable. Yeah. And I think that that's kind of like a necessity in our community, especially during the times that we're running through right now. Like, you know how they always say that you always used to have a steady amount of money just for those just in case moments.
Sure.
This actually means a lot to, I believe, the community and everybody that's involved with this community.
Absolutely.
So when you started this business, what made you get into mechanics in the first place?
I couldn't afford a mechanic. I broke my car, and I remember I brought it over somewhere and said, you know, how much is this going to cost to fix? And they gave me some number, and I had just kind of gotten into college, and I said, holy smokes, that ain't gonna happen. And so I did some quick Googling and found the parts for super cheap and said, you know what, I don't care that they have a warranty. I need to be able to get to school. Let's go ahead and get this taken care of. And found out that A, I was pretty decent at it, and B, I enjoyed it. You know, I truly love mechanical things. I always have liked mechanisms and having my hands on stuff.
And what age was this?
Probably 17, 18, something like that. And, you know, prior to that, I always tinkered around with motorcycles probably before I was supposed to. And I was a Lego kid, realistically, at the end of the day. So, and then combined with seeing that price and telling the people that I'd gotten that original quote from, hey, that doesn't work for me. They said, well, that, you know, that's too bad. It doesn't work for us to make any other options. And down the road a little bit, I said, you know what, wouldn't it be great if people could have options?
And that's exactly what you're offering. And when you started this, it was a strictly mobile at that point
Correct.
in time.
Yeah.
And now you got a brick and mortar.
Absolutely. Yeah. It started off and, you know, all my tools were either in my truck or in the garage, and we would just go out to people's houses, and eventually ended up having too many people that myself alone could handle. Hired Jordan, and he's still with us. And it just kept growing from there. And actually the city of Prescott Valley showed up. You know, guy showed up in my driveway one day, and there's 11 cars in the driveway, and he's looking at all the license plates, and he goes, hey, Scott, these aren't registered to you. And I go, ah. And he said, you know, you've got 2 weeks, get them out of your driveway. And I figured that it was sink or swim time, and got a shop. So,
well, was it a good decision?
It was the best decision I've ever made.
You can't go wrong with that, man. I mean, like, literally the idea of what you got going on is hold on. I don't know what's going on here. Stop with this. The idea that we have right now, as far as, like, you know, being able to go ahead and offer a place for people to go to that is like kind of like hometown respect, I guess, trust.
Yeah.
And Prescott Valley is like that, man. We need people that we could trust. We need mechanics that we could trust, that
Absolutely.
we know that they're not going to go ahead and try to win over.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a lot of females out there that, you know, are single, that their cars are probably not maintained for a reason, where they're probably scared to go ahead and bring it to a maintenance place, just because it was like, well, I don't know what they're going to say. And so this makes me feel comfortable to go ahead and be a partner with you, so we could go ahead and offer this type of business that will help, you know, and keep people on there. And we were talking about it earlier, and I was like, the idea is preventative maintenance, and it was more or less we're talking about our own bodies and stuff. But this is also good for the cars.
Yep.
Let's give a rundown. I know that you already said it before, but let's give a rundown of kind of like what you have to offer.
Sure.
You know, well, I'll take it over for you.
Okay, sure.
You take it over.
You know, the baseline of any car that rolls into my shop or that we show up to look at, may it be because you called because it isn't starting, showed up on a tow truck, or you're just there for an oil change, every vehicle gets a full inspection from front to back, because the way that I like to operate is, let's give you a full picture. I want you to have the information so that you can make your own judgment call. It's not about me making judgment calls for you. It's about me providing you all of the tools so that you can, you know, do what's best for your situation. And so that looks like, you know, obviously the inspection, and that's step one. But, you know, if things from replacing catalytic converters, alternators, power steering pumps, to simple, you know, gaskets, anything that's leaking oil, coolant, those are kind of just more maintenance items of, oh, this is leaking, let's fix it. But then we also do a little bit more intensive diagnosis, and recently got a guy on board who is 30 years of master mechanic, and he specializes in European vehicle coding and programming. So, you know, the simple stuff of doing control arms and steering and suspension is stuff that we've done forever, but we're now offering more in-depth problem solving ability. So
that's cool, because a lot of the actual vehicles nowadays, they're fully ran by computers.
It's all computers.
Yeah,
it's all computers. And I saw your Mazda out there. That thing's got probably 15, 20 different drivers that control various aspects of the car. And that's crazy, you know?
Yeah. I don't drive a Mazda.
Yeah, I realize
I was like,
that.
Mazda, there is a Mazda in the parking lot. So whoever is in the parking lot right now, we would like to go ahead and check your vehicle out. Hey, and here's a good segue though. Do you specialize in a specific, or do you have like a variety? I mean, is there something that you don't want to touch? I mean, every mechanic says, not today for that one.
You know, I think that's a fantastic question, and it's an interesting one to approach from my perspective, where if I've got 5 technicians right now, and so each one of them has a specialty. For me, although my guys will, you know, bully me for saying this, I love Chrysler and Jeep products. Ooh, I know. But the Jordan specializes in Hondas, Andy specializes in Subarus, William specializes in European, BMW, Mercedes, stuff like that. We just did a really difficult job on a Mercedes panoramic sunroof, actually. And you know, by Patrick does Ford, you know, that everybody that kind of, you know, works for me has what they specialize in. And so whatever jobs come in, like they can all tackle whichever, but what, you know, my job as an owner is I want my guys to be happy as well. And so by taking what they prefer to work on and making sure they get those jobs is kind of how we approach that.
And that's a huge variety. And you know, being in Prescott, Arizona, we do have a huge amount of people that love their Subis, and I used to sell Subarus over when it was Tim's at the time.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Friendly.
And the way that it's all set up, it's just like it seems like they use a lot of recycled parts, which also helps out with emissions in every town and country and every place like that. So they're really like environmentally cool, but at the same time, it's like, it's a vehicle. It still has oil in it. It's still taking, you know, anyways, I could go on and on about stuff that they say it's cool or whatever. But, oh, hey, check this out. We got some comments. Let me go ahead and post them up again. Taylor. Hey. What's up, Taylor? Thank you for both of what you do. Scott, thank you for being someone I can trust with my cars. Oh, snap. Look at that. We got some lovers out there. Sandy's saying, good morning, Prescott Times, and good morning, gentlemen. I like
good morning,
that. Thank
Sandy.
you so very much. And also Cassidy. And she didn't want to be on the scene, so whatever. But she's still here. I told you, Cassidy, you'll still be on here. We do appreciate you, Cassidy, and all you do for the community as well. So what is the time frame for people to utilize your services? Maintenance is obviously something that is like an in and out type of thing.
Sure.
Do you have to have appointments? Can you just drive up? How does that all work?
So we definitely do take walk-ins. The answer to that question is a little bit complex because it does depend why the vehicle's there. Usually if it's a no-start situation, that's something that can be diagnosed within the day, but then depending on parts availability, sometimes it can take a day or two for us to obtain those parts to perform the repair. However, I do work with every aftermarket part provider in town, as well as the dealerships, to buy parts from them. So usually, as long as we're talking about, you know, jobs that can be done in 2 to 3 hours, that's something that can be taken care of same day. Start talking about larger jobs where, and we get this all the time, you know, particularly with Subarus, actually. If we find that the oil pan on a Subaru is leaking, maybe it's not so bad, but it is leaking, I'll usually advise my customers, let's not fix it yet. And the reason being that the book that, you know, the holy book of saying this is how long it takes to do a job will say, hey, that oil pan takes 8 hours. Because you have to remove the engine. And so sometimes it's better to wait until, hey, it's leaking from other places, so that when we pull that motor out to do the oil pan, we can do everything else in it, instead of it taking, you know, a bunch of money to do one simple job. We're waiting until there's other stuff that needs to be done while we're in there.
Here's a pop-up question, and it's Manuel. What's up, nephew? Do you guys got a GMC guy?
We do. GM is very interesting because they're older vehicles. I love GM. I drive a Chevy, and an 02 Chevy. Actually, it got rear-ended last week, and it still drives like a dream. But
I love those American rides.
Now, contrary to that one, we also have a 2018 GMC Sierra in our lot right now. Basically, it was driven. Guy's father borrowed it to pull a toy hauler, diesel 2500. The body control module, which is one of those computers, decided to quit working. And the reason why, back in the scanner and look at what the live data was when it threw all these codes, the reason it was brought in, and it says it was driven too fast in reverse. And so it broke the computer. So you've got a wide range of, General Motors vehicles that like the O2 Chevy, where you can hit them with a truck from behind. It's going to be all right. And then you've got somewhere, if you step on the gas pedal with the settings wrong in the computer, it's going to destroy the thing. So, yeah, but we definitely can repair either situation. So,
and Paul says we take all of our vehicles.
Paul Taylor,
right on, my
what's
friend.
up, buddy?
And then he goes, "That's why I got a 94."
Attaboy.
All right, hey, that makes sense right there, man. Okay, so this is the best thing about it. If you guys want to know more about the Restivo, what is the name of it? Here, just let me put it up here on the screen so we all know what the heck Martine is talking about. Sometimes I do know what I'm talking about, and sometimes I don't. This is actual what do you call it? A list of things that you offer?
Yeah, this is kind of a broad spectrum of things that we can take care of for you. So.
And just FYI, guys, I've been scrolling the location of the place, of where to find him and how to go ahead and get a hold of him. Right there on the bottom, it's 490
East Z Street.
East Z Street. It's not easy. It's East Z Street in Prescott, Arizona. And you can give them a call at 928-356-2583. And you can go to their website at restivoranches.com if you guys want to go ahead and know more information, or just to go ahead and get in contact with him to get your cars all fixed up and maintenance. I mean, like, this is what it's all about. And if you guys screenshot it right now, you go to Capital information, or you can go to their Facebook page and you can see everything that they got going on, which is a pretty big deal. This whole thing is a big deal. Our community needs people like you, and I think that's what it's all about. And once again, it's about making sure that everybody's safe.
Yeah,
I think that actually works out. Is there something that you don't do? Just so that we can go ahead and make that list from you, like, I can take care of it, but
not that. One of the few things we don't do is we won't rebuild transmissions. That's some complex stuff that is really better handled by people that only do transmissions. We can rebuild the top end of motors, the cylinder heads where the valve trains are and what have you. Timing we do all the time, but we don't rebuild engine blocks themselves. So if you've got piston rings that are shot, that's not something we're going to take care of. But other than that, those are the two things. We won't rebuild transmissions, and we won't rebuild the bottom end of your motor.
Oh, well, there you guys go. And you tires.
Tires. Yeah. So I have a partner for tires. And I actually want to shout them out right now, if that's all right. Guy named Devin with Dove's Tires mobile service. He comes and partners with us to work on vehicles that need tires at our shop. Best prices you can find around. Really ambitious guy, professional, knows what he's doing. Very happy to have him. So.
Well, shout out to you, my friend. Thank you for doing what you do for our community. And this is a pretty big deal, guys. So if you guys keep on watching what's happening at the Prescott Times, we will be exposing all these amazing businesses here. And we got two more comments. Let's see what they got to say. Let's see. Dove's Tire Mobile Service. Thanks, Devin. Their whole team is great. Scott always gives us a reasonable rate and explains everything needed clearly. And he's gonna be your teacher next week. You got to do oil changes. Yeah, that'd be cool to have a little bit of a class.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you ever saw that. I think it was called like Dads Know Best or something like that. And basically, all he did was like a video, and then he says, if you're somebody out there that wants to learn how to do this miscellaneous maintenance stuff, come on over and check it out. But I'm not trying to give you another job and stuff.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because a couple years ago, and it would probably, I'd reach more people now, but the Prescott Wellness Expo was something that I had a booth at, and I did actually do a general maintenance class, and there was,
I think I remember that.
Yeah, I think there was like 4 or 5 people, and it was targeted at teenagers, because you leave your house, you go out to college or whatever. It's a good skill to be able to check your oil, to check a spark plug, to make sure that you're not setting yourself up for failure.
That's awesome. And sometimes we need that. It's just a simple little knowledge will get you a long way. But if you don't want to do any of that knowledge, there's only one place to go, and that's over at Restivo's. Scott, you're amazing, bro.
Thank you, buddy.
This is actually a pretty big deal, and I think that what we do here is we try to go ahead and put you guys out there, so the whole community go and check it out. So once again, guys, screenshot right now to go ahead and get all the information from our page. I don't know what that P is there for. It's something that I didn't take off. Anyways, guys, this is all good. You have anything last comments before we go ahead and end this?
I don't think so. I love my community, and I appreciate every one of you.
That's the best way to go ahead and end it, man. Hey, when you love your community, there is definitely not a day that you're working. So with that being said, peace, love, and happiness. Let it not be war. And remember, love always wins. We'll catch you guys later. Oh, boy.
See you later, guys.